baseball, basketball. We're going to get into NFL Week 7 power rankings. And listen, I don't care who has an opinion about my power rankings. These are the real power rankings. These are the power rankings ESPN's not going to give you, the non-politically correct power rankings. And listen, the NFL, a true meritocracy, right? The truest. Nobody's, paying the refs off or doing anything shady in the NFL. All right, this is a true meritocracy. My Week 7 power rankings. And Mike, feel free to tell me what I got wrong and what I got right. All right, coming in at number 5, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to go over this real quick. Division is horrible, Mike. Absolutely atrocious. They have nothing to fear for the rest of the year. They're going to get the Browns twice. They're going to get the the Bengals twice. And the Ravens, without Lamar Jackson, I think you see how valuable of an MVP Lamar Jackson is to this team because they are literally pathetic without him. A pathetic, pathetic team. At the moment, the Steelers stand with a 4-1 record, okay? Their one loss, listen, they beat the Jets. Who cares, right? They did beat the Patriots, who everybody won't shut the fuck up about right now. All right? So they beat the Patriots. They beat the Vikings. Pretty solid defense, right? They beat the Browns, nobody cares about. They lost to the Seahawks, but remember, the way they lost was that weird fumble into the back of the end zone touchback situation, which took the ball away from the Steelers, gave the Seahawks a touchdown. They end up losing by 14. So I have Aaron Rodgers in my 5 spot. The look on your face is not happy with my decision. Go ahead.
I don't have them that high. You said it with Lamar. Like they're one Aaron Rodgers. You know this. They're one Aaron Rodgers injury away from being just like the Browns. And if they have that weak schedule, they're not going to face good teams. And they have. I think the Patriots' victory is a good victory. That's their only W. The other teams they're facing are garbage.
I agree with that, and I think they've got the Bengals this week. So it's funny. There's a graphic of Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco, and it's like this looks like a ad for Cialis or Viagra. I don't know what
the icy hot bowl.
Yeah, the icy hot bowl, exactly. But after the Bengals, which I think is an easy dub for the Steelers, they got the Packers, Colts, and Chargers. So if the Steelers win 2 of those 3, they're a for real team. Right, because everyone won't shut up about the Colts. Herbert and the Chargers are reeling. And the Packers, a.k.a. Super Bowl contenders, which, I obviously do not agree with at all. But that's my number 5 ranked NFL team. We're going to move into number 4. I couldn't punt them out of the top 5. Another Pennsylvania team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to keep them in here because they just have so much power. Right? They have so many skilled players at particular positions, whether it's defense, whether it's offense. Everybody criticizes Jalen Hurts, who is a Super Bowl champion, who when it came time to show up, played the game of his life, won the MVP. Saquon really hasn't had a breakout game. He's not looking like Saquon this year. There's turmoil with the receivers, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and they're still a 4-1 team, I believe, Dale, or are they 4-2? The Eagles... The Eagles are 4-2. So let's hear from the Giants fan what he thinks about the Philadelphia Eagles.
As much as that game was amazing the other night, and I was there, this is still basically one of the top 2 or 3 most talented teams in the league in all the NFL, and they're the defending champs. So they do it with great line, both D-line, O-line. They have great skill position players. They don't need Saquon to be superhuman just in order to win football games. He didn't really get a lot of touches in that Thursday night game. But yeah, this is fine. In the 4 spot, I agree with this.
Yeah, so again, by the way, what a game to go to. I think that Jackson Dart and Scadaboo are going to perplex some teams because there's not enough tape on them. And I think they showed that against both the Eagles and the Chargers. And then it's just unfortunate because you guys would be real enough if you had just, shut down the Saints, which is like, that's such a Giants thing to do. Is to beat the Chargers and the Eagles and lose to the Saints, right?
And then losing a shootout if we forget the Dallas game, we were in a shootout to that. We were winning that game with they had 30 seconds left.
You easily could have won that game.
In regular.
So
could have easily won that game.
The Giants.
And by the way, Jalen Carter was out.
Which is a big missing
Thursday
piece
night.
for sure. For sure.
Big missing piece. A fully healthy O-line and D-line from Philadelphia. They're tough to handle. You saw them in the NFC Championship game handle the Commanders last year and handle the Chiefs. So don't count out Philly. Easily still top 5 team.
Coming in at my number 3 spot is going to be the Detroit Lions. I know they're coming off a loss to the Chiefs. Their other loss came week 1 against the Packers, a little bit rusty. This is a team that scored 52 on the Bears, and the Bears do not look like the Bears of old. They're a new team with Caleb Johnson and Ben Johnson, or Caleb Williams rather. They beat the Ravens, and by the way, they didn't beat the Ravens without Lamar Jackson. They beat the Ravens at full strength. They destroyed the Browns 34-10. Who cares? And then they destroyed the Bengals. But, good teams destroy bad teams, right? They win by 2 touchdowns. So the Lions beat those 2 teams. I'm going to leave them at the 3 spot because I think Detroit is a team that last year kind of underachieved for, remember, they were like the number 1 seed. They end up losing to Jaden in the playoffs. So I like the Lions. I like Campbell. They're a team like the Eagles. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have a top 5 receiver. They have 2 running backs, 1 top 5, 1 top 15 or 20, right? David Montgomery is no bum. And also Jared Goff I'm not a huge Goff guy, but he gets the job done.
Leads the NFL in touchdowns. Another team that's just the roster construction is great. So they're always going to be there. Are they going to get got by potentially another great team like they did this week? Sure, that's going to happen. I have them at 3 as well. Funny enough, I have 3 and 4 exactly the same as you. I have Lions 3, Eagles 4.
We'll see if I think we're going to be off on the next 2. Maybe one of them we'll agree on. Number 2, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, Baker Mayfield playing like an MVP. He's my MVP at the moment. If you were to actually give the MVP to one player right now in this position, I don't think you could give it to Mahomes because of the 3-3 record. I don't think you could give it to Dak because of the 2-4 record or whatever their record is at the moment.
Yep.
You've got to beat the Panthers to be the MVP, right? And Baker Mayfield loses Mike Evans, doesn't have Chris Godwin, loses Igbuka. It doesn't matter. He's just throwing touchdowns and passes, and he's making plays in positions where an MVP is supposed to make a play. It's 3rd and 13, and he runs for 14 yards, right? And then he talks shit to you as he does it. So
that was sick.
Baker's really impressive. Do you like the number 2 Buccaneers spot, Mike?
I don't have him that high. I had him at 5. So far we're 3 or 4 in the top 5. I don't have them at 2. They could easily be 2 in a couple of weeks. If they just keep on going with this, they get their parts back. I don't know when Mike Evans is getting back soon. They can easily be where you have them in a couple of weeks if everything keeps going this way.
And then, this might be up for discussion, but my number 1 team, I don't care about the record, is the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the team that nobody wants to play. They come into the season, by the way, no Rashee Rice. Xavier Worthy gets hurt on the first play. So Mahomes is immediately down his first 2 receivers. As soon as he gets just Worthy back, they look like a revamped offense. Mahomes is throwing – this is a crazy stat, Mike. Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns either 1 or 2 weeks ago. That was the first time he threw 4 touchdowns since November of 2023. Right. So Mahomes, best-ranked fantasy player or top 2. He's looking unbelievable, throwing for 300 yards a game. He is clearly the guy who's carrying the team. Their run game looks non-existent. Pacheco is not impressive, right? He's not doing anything. Kareem Hunt had a decent game. But I don't think anyone wants to play Patrick Mahomes now or in the playoffs, and their defense looks pretty solid.
Couldn't agree more. It's going to come down to Mahomes, but it's going to come down to coaching. They outcoached Detroit. That was an ass whooping they put on Detroit, and they did it the good old-fashioned way. All the different, very creative offense that they're running. Doesn't matter who you plug in there. Like they had Tony, right? Kadarius Toney a couple of years ago. It doesn't matter if you plug in that worthy position. You got Travis Kelce, who's always going to do his thing. It doesn't really matter. And I love Pacheco. So again, good pieces, pretty good defense, and outcoached Detroit. So sure, put them at number 1. I think they're scary as of today. Let's just see how they play out, because they do have 3 losses. They did get worked on opening day. I forget who they played on week 1, but that was interesting.
So who was your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Mike? Just read them off real quick. Rattle them off.
I had Chiefs, Bills, because I still believe in the Bills. Lions, Bucks, Eagles.
So we're pretty close on that. Listen, the Bills, the reason I dropped them out of the top 5 is just because the performance against the Falcons is concerning. The Bills' performance, I didn't care about the Patriots' loss. It's a division rival. They always play you, extra hard, right? Like they're going to just try a little harder to beat you. You can lose a game, right, against a division rival. To go into Atlanta and to really, really never be in the game, right? They went down 21-7. They had 3 opportunities, Mike, while I was watching the game where they're at the 50-yard line with either 4th and 3, 4th and 2, 4th and 5. They punted at minimum 2 of those, and I'm like, you have Josh Allen and you need 2 yards, and you're punting it at the 50-yard line? What's going on? I don't like that. Mahomes and Reed would never do that. Absolutely not allowed. If you can't stop the guys from the 50-yard line, right, and they couldn't stop them from the 20. So it's like, give them the ball at the 50. Who cares? You're not going to stop them at the 20. That's why the Bills dropped out for me, and I'm kind of concerned what's going on in Buffalo.
Yeah, everyone should have concern. I will say this though: those two surprising games that we spoke about just now were both primetime away games that the team that they lost. So like the Chiefs beat the Lions primetime at home in Arrowhead, and then the Falcons. That was a surprising game. Don't get me wrong. They beat the Bills primetime in Atlanta. So it's like tough environments to go in. Maybe they're not ready for that. Teams getting amped up. It's a tough. That build, Mercedes-Benz is a tough building to play in. They got caught for pumping in.
They're pumping in the crowd noise for sure.
Ago.
And listen, also Bijan looks like the best player in the league right now. So it's. I just would have liked to see a little more fight from the Bills. I think that they ended up scoring 14 points, 14. And it seemed like they should have dropped 30 points. If they were going to lose to the Falcons, it should have been a slugfest. And then Allen on the last drive, not that it mattered, throws a pick. I'm more upset because I lost by 0.6 in fantasy, and that pick was the reason. Get in the comments, guys. Let us know your top 5. Let us know what we got wrong, when we got it wrong. Who's the top 5 power ranked teams in the league?